Many X1D users have asked about the exposure sequence and how it relates to the clicks that they can hear after pressing the shutter button. So let's listen to the shutter and aperture noises during a capture. So I'll just press the button, the camera will focus first of all, and there's the noises that we hear. Now, whilst that sequence of clicks might at first sound unusual, it is worth noting that Hasselblad engineers have worked hard to minimize the capture delay and any shutter lag. And any shutter lag is now actually faster than the flagship H6D camera. Sometimes it can feel slow because of the strange clicks you can hear from the lens, which are actually the aperture and shutter closing and the shutter operating and both the aperture and shutter opening again. It is in fact the central leaf shutter and the aperture in the lens that allows this camera to have a blisteringly fast flash sync speed of 1/2000th of a second. Let's bring up a diagram to see what's actually happening. After the shutter button is pressed, the following sequence happens that corresponds to the clicks that are heard. First of all, you hear the aperture and shutter closing inside the lens. The next two fast clicks are the shutter operating. The final click is the shutter and aperture reopening after the exposure to provide you with the live view for the EVF or for the rear screen. Because the shutter needs to stay closed while data is being read from the sensor, there is a brief display blackout. This occurs because the camera cannot read live view data from the sensor while the shutter is closed. This display blackout time is slightly longer on the X1D camera compared to smaller format mirrorless cameras. This is due to the large sensor size of the X1D and the higher resolution, higher quality image files that are created and that have to be processed.